with. So my job is to try and keep you to timetable this evening, and I'll really try and do that. So without further ado, I'd like to invite the brilliant Michael Heppell, Sunday Times #1 best-selling author, to give us a few words and tell us his impressions of Richard's new book, Return to the End of the Line.
Well, thank you very much, Vic. Can I just say, that is the best introduction to a book launch I've ever heard. Absolutely sensational. And you can't have too many train puns. That's the thing, there aren't too many. So I hope you've got a few more up your sleeve for a little bit later on. So this is one of those moments where when Richard sent me this book, he also added these. He added a packet of tissues. And for those people who were around for the very first book that Richard produced, you will know that I had a few tears. It was very emotional. And the reason why it was emotional was because I knew the journey that he'd been on. It sounds like such a cliche, doesn't it? To say somebody's been on a journey when they've been writing their book. But it was so much more than just writing the book and taking the photographs. It was also the confidence to put something that you are so passionate about, that's almost been a secret project for so long, and to say to other people, well, what do you think? So doing the first one was great because, you've got all that work and you're able to put it out there, and it's very, very much from the heart. To do a second book, and to do a second book which follows a theme, is very, very difficult, because it has to be new and it has to be fresh. But at the same time, one of the things that people love is familiarity. You don't want to pick up a John Grisham book and to suddenly find it's a completely different style. You want a new plot, you want new characters, but also you want that familiarity. And that's what Richard's been able to do. And I know that Jen worked very hard with the design. I'm sure that Richard's going to talk about that, to give us that familiarity, but also to make it fresh. And the thing that makes it really fresh for me come in two different ways. First of all, obviously the photographs. The photographs are brilliant. I love the photos, and I've pulled out a few of my favorites from this one. So I'm going to share them with you now. And my first one, which I think a lot of people will absolutely love, is this one here, Narrowboat. Can you see that there? And the guy with the hat on and his shirt off, I felt like he must have some tails. He looks a bit dodgy. There's something about him, but I can't see his face. And I'm delighted I can't see his face. And it's kind of part of the magic of that. And when I look at it, and then obviously you look at the person, and then suddenly over on the side, you see that incredibly wrinkled dog, the one that needs a good iron. Did you spot the dog? The dog there just needs an iron, doesn't it? Just to get those wrinkles out. And I just thought that was absolutely beautiful. My next one was when we went over to this part. And when you go to Southeastern, for some reason, I'm not quite sure why, but I think that Richard's just thought, I need to get more people. I'm going to capture more people. And there's loads and loads of very obvious pictures of people. But this one, hello, Greg Foreman. Just wearing that T-shirt with, a Where's Wally being Lionel Richie, just totally grabbed me. But then I thought, you know what I really want to do? I want to find out about these people. And that's the thing that's very intriguing with this book as well. It's the stories. And what I've noticed is that Richard has become a better writer. The first one was great, but now it's even better. It's more intriguing. It's more in-depth. He does what's known in the trade as open and close loops. He'll give you a little hint of something, but you have to keep going to find out the details. And one of the great ways that he does that is with this idea of, asking us questions. Rather than having a blank page, ask a question and just get your mind whirring and thinking about the book as you go through it. So, Richard, I have to say, I've loved it. Again, I've loved it. I didn't cry, but I've certainly giggled. I didn't cry, but you've certainly made me question some things that I took for granted. I didn't cry, but I want to visit these stations. I want to wander around Paddington and have a bit of time. I want to visit places and kind of say, where he did that close-up, where's the bigger one? And where you did the bigger one, where can I go in a little bit closer? You've done it again, my friend. Once again, you've managed to write something, create something that's stimulating, entertaining, and above all, brilliant. Thank you.
Thank you, Michael. Really generous and really kind feedback there. And I'll say thank you on Richard's behalf for that. Can we have a round of applause, actually, please? Thank you. Thank you. That's fab.
Vic, can I have the right to reply?
You may.
Michael, thank you very much. 5 years ago, 4 years ago, however many years ago, when we had that very first conversation, when I sent you a message saying, what's this write that book stuff about? And you rang me within 5 minutes. And then within 6 minutes, I signed up to your write that book. I've never looked back, so thank you very much. And your words mean a lot to me, so I really appreciate you being here tonight and appreciate your words. So thank you very much.
Thank you. Thanks, Richard. I think possibly the coal that fueled Richard's writing journey. If we can continue with the pun. Okay, thank you. We're going to move on now.